Okay, we're back on our episode of NBA 2K14. In the earlier episode, the last episode, you saw the first game earlier. As you see, the Warriors beat the Nuggets in the first game, 114-107, led by Stephen Curry 3 points and 12 assists, Klay Thompson with 22. On the other hand, Nuggets with the tie loss in 33 and 14, and Wilson Chandler got 20 points. And won a huge game for the Splash Brother of the Warriors. And now, the presentation is ready to go, and here we go. So now, for the second game of the day, we have a main event matchup featuring the Western Conference duo goalies going to Staples Center in LA, featuring Dirk Nowitzki and Monte Ellis of the Dallas Mavericks take on and there we go, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin of the Los Angeles Clippers. And for this game, the Mavericks gonna use the navy blue shirts, like it happened because they failed to record against Spurs. They're using for navy blue, and now they're gonna sue me. I'm going to use navy blue, and the Clippers gonna use the white shirts. And that'll do it for now. This is Andre King with right more after this. Enjoy the video here at the Staples Center in LA. Anyways, let's get started. Enjoy the video, and now we are sending over to Staples Center here in LA for Kevin Harlan. Anyways, enjoy the video, and let's get started.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm Damon Bruce, glad to have you with us. Wednesday night in the NBA. It's going to be the Dallas Mavericks up against the Los Angeles Clippers. And that's it for now. Let's send you out to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. Enjoy the first half. We'll see you soon.
Welcome, everyone. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, ready to bring you all the action along with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. And guys, what are we going to be looking for in this one from Dirk Nowitzki?
You know, he's not really known for his ability to bang down low on the block, Kevin, but Dirk Nowitzki is, I think, underrated when it comes to his footwork on the post. He gets deep position down there. He knows exactly how to get his shot off against virtually any type of defender.
Yeah, and he doesn't need a perfect look to score. I mean, he can do it over tough defense. His size gives him an advantage, and he's got such an unorthodox array of shots and ways to score over defenders that guys challenging him with their hands in his face usually don't bother him at all.
So for the Mavericks, their last game, a win against Orlando. And that result, guys, was a real shock. It was just about as complete a dominant performance as we've seen him.
And, Kevin, they played such terrific defense in that game. It took a lot of pressure off them at the other end of the court.
Yeah, and you can't just pick one or two players out who stood out defensively. There was plenty of credit to go around. And he breaks out the time. No soft finish there. Pure strength.
Oh, we could feel that one all the way over here.
Yes, we could. What an aggressive move to the basket.
Griffin is doing amazing things on the court and off the court. I mean, his charisma and sense of humor really have made him one of the more marketable players in the entire league.
Now we'll go to Doris Burke, who had a chance to talk with head coach Doc Rivers.
His biggest concern seemed to be how to contain Monte Ellis on the offensive end. He said, quote, no matter where he is on the floor, he is a threat to score because he can get into the lane whenever he wants. We'll just have to try and get the ball out of his hands on the offensive end. We'll see if they can do just that.
And thanks for that story, Doris. Going back to Griffin, he spent a summer interning with an LA-based comedy website I'm reading that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he has a love for comedy, and playing in LA, that's a great opportunity for him to work on the entertainment side of things. And, of course, he does have a real job with the Clippers. He's got to focus there.
He does. But those commercials he's in are fun.
They are good.
Yeah, they're good.
4 makes on 4 tries. Everything's falling early. 100% can't do better than that.
Here's Crawford. Again, Los Angeles.
Very well done. He is a confident, dynamic scorer.
Dallas has gone 3 of 3 from deep. 9 points strung up from outside here in the first.
He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll. This last summer, the Mavs asked fans to submit some redesigns of their uniforms for future use. Always kind of neat to see when a team and organization reaches out for the fans' input.
And that one's good, Ellis.
And they are cooking, on fire right now, really flowing well.
Here's Paul. Again, Los Angeles.
Well, it's definitely been a shootout, but the team that can start playing some defense might have an edge.
And back to the Mavs, definitely a big move by them to reach out like that. Nothing like bringing crowdsourcing to the NBA and building a bridge, Steve, with your fan base.
Kevin, I had a chance to see some of the designs of the uniforms that were being suggested. Some pretty sharp-looking duds, but there were some other ones that were absolutely hideous. So let's hope the decision makers in the Mavs organization pick some of the, let's say, the clean-looking new uniform suggestions.
Impeccable mechanics this quarter. He's been perfect from the field.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Mavericks. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Mavericks?
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
Yeah, their passing has been terrific, too, Clark. We're seeing a lot of assists, really moving, a lot of flow offensively. I like what I see.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. A pair of teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make in a close game, a potential momentum builder.
And the basket by West.
The D with very little pressure on their perimeter shooters. 3 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been of the three-point variety.
Yeah, unless they make some rotations and closeouts defensively, there's more to come, Clark.
Kept alive. Here's Odom. And he converts the layup.
Well, he crashed the boards with purpose right there. Well-deserved second chance points for him.
Deflected. And stolen by Red. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Harris. Ahead. And the stuff by West.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. I mean, that was a very late reaction from the defense there.
Collison against Harris. Collison in the post. That's good.
Boy, this game is off to a terrific start.
No doubt. On both sides, high-octane offense.
There's the triple. Vince Carter the bucket on the assist from West.
And we've seen a few mix-ups defensively out there on the perimeter.
More than a few. I mean, the open looks. They've allowed from long range have turned into a lot of points.
A different look for Dallas. Jay Crowder comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. And it's Ellis in for Devin Harris. There's 38 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And here's Dudley for 3, and that one's good. Dudley's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
You might not think of him as a laser three-point shooter, but that shot was there for him, and he had to take it.
On the pass to Collison. And that is good. The Mavericks leading. Last time they met was in Dallas.
And the early foul trouble they got themselves into the last meeting between these two clubs really kind of threw off their whole game, and they never could recover. That was a bad loss.
Pretty passing, timely recognition as to where the open man was.
That's his first personal foul, first team foul.
Passes it to Bullock. Beyond the arc. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison.
Incredible. Only took them a few seconds to answer the three ball with one of their own.
Let's keep this thing going, guys. I love seeing a three-point battle like this.
No good. And so, both teams trading buckets as we end the first quarter. Mavericks lead by 3. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles.
Coming up next Monday, January 20th, LeBron James and the Miami Heat go up against the Atlanta Hawks. Live from Phillips Arena. Be there.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen here, guys, from the Mavericks.
Yeah, this team played an excellent first quarter offensively, moving the ball and getting a good flow to their offense. That's why you see those big assist totals.
Yeah, very timely passing for them, Steve, and that's why they've been able to jump out to this lead.
Odom out there with Ryan Howland. Then it's Chris Paul. Then it's Matt Barnes. That's who's out there for the Clippers.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
DeAndre Jordan's checked in for the Clippers. The shot's good from Larkin.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
For the Los Angeles Clippers, they come in off a good outing against Los Angeles.
Yeah, that was a strange game. Very shaky defensive performance by their opponent, but hey, they took advantage of it.
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard as they should have. I don't think there's any question that Chris Paul is one of the top point guards in the league. Whether or not he's the top point guard is a matter of debate. But when you look at his total package, you can clearly understand why he's considered by some to be the top point guard in the league. Leadership, excellence in every facet of the game, and defensively, I think he does an outstanding job at the point of attack.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Dallenberg, hits the jumper. Dallenberg's got his first 2 points of the night.
You know, with the expectations low for him, he can provide a nice lift when he does put the ball in the basket.
He dishes it to Jordan. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way. And going back to Chris Paul, always efficient offensive. Great passer, great defender as well.
But his height, you know, that's always been the knock on him. I mean, he's, I think, barely 6 feet tall, but he can still dominate a game. It's incredible.
Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Harris comes in for Larkin. Kicks to Nowitzki. Covered by Barnes. The jumper, and Dallas again with the bucket.
Well, when you combine Dirk's height with his touch and his release, which is basically behind his head, he becomes impossible to defend. And unless he's just missing his jump shot that night, you're in for a long night.
Especially when you couple it with his knack for playing with his back to the basket when he wants to. Often Dirk will catch it on the low block, lean into a defender to create some space, and then the next thing you know, he's up in the air knocking down that jumper.
Back to Jordan.
Incredible timing on the alley-oop.
He absolutely hammered it down.
play we're going to remember when this game is all said and done.
Dallas leading by 4. Griffin with the steal. And here in the second quarter of action with a hair under 2.5 minutes played so far. Down goes Curry.
Well, their plan of attack has been pretty clear to see. You get the ball inside and just take it strong to the hoop. Be dominant in the lane.
Well, the defense has been very slow to adjust. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside. He certainly didn't take advantage of the poor defense, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
No, that's for sure, because this guy's too good of a shooter to miss that look consistently.
Outside, Griffin. He nails it. No timeout. Griffin's got his second bucket of the night.
They're spraying them home for good range today, guys.
Yeah, reliable weapon, and that's a sign that the offense is working. They're really moving the ball well and finding good opportunities.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Blair comes in for Samuel Dallenberg, and it's Ellison for Jose Calderon.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any agenda.
It's hard to overstate all the points they've scored on assists today. Beautiful to watch.
And here are some big men who, when they get it in tight, are as close to a sure thing as we've got. Here are the top field goal percentage leaders among NBA centers and power forwards. Fourth, Blake Griffin.
You know, it's one thing to be able to create high-quality shots for yourself, but you still have to finish. And there's no doubt all those guys can do both.
Yeah, every sentence needs a period. It's one thing to get the shot off, but you need to finish it. You need to take care of business in that. Most of their chances are easy ones. You know, the more shots like that he hits, guys, the more he's going to forget the pain he's playing through. Sometimes shot making can give you that added boost of adrenaline.
Paul dishes to Barnes. Back to Paul. Clock at 6. Griffin attacking. Gets the bucket. Griffin's got 4 this quarter.
They've got to continue to put pressure on the defense by probing inside. That's what's really working for them.
And when you're doing the job they are inside, it takes pressure off the perimeter guys.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist totals. I mean, they have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, a great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams. Nice silky finish on the alley-oop.
That sequence. I don't think Clark could have been executed any better.
Stupendous feed.
Boy, I hope we see a few more of those.
Griffin with the steal. Crawford outside. From outside the arc. That's good. Crawford's got 14 points for the game.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
Nowitzki kicks to Ellis. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dirk Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got 5 assists in the game. The Clippers trail. Next up for them, the Knicks, a road game in New York. And they start a long road journey there. That'll be the first of a 7-game road trip.
That's the second personal foul. If he gets another, it probably puts him on the bench for the rest of the first half.
And some changes here for the Mavericks. We've got 22 seconds left in the first half of basketball. West with the steal. The feed to Ellis. Uncovered. Again, the Mavericks score.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket. On time and on target.
The dish to Douglas. Feeds it to Reddick. Odom on the way. Lets it go from deep. Good. Odom's got 5 points so far. Stolen by Dudley. It's all tied here in Los Angeles. Keep it here for the Sprint Halftime Show with Damon Bruce. We'll see you after the break for the start of the second half.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Hello, everyone. I'm Damon Bruce, and the NBA season is really getting into gear. It's been the Clippers scraping it out. They've been relentless attacking the rim, dominating in points in the paint, and the bodies down low have been banging away. Chris Paul having no trouble against this Mavericks D. We're at halftime, and still, he hasn't missed a shot. It's been a pure shooting exhibition. And on the other side, the Mavericks also putting up numbers. A big game for them right now. A win here would move them into the 8th seed in the conference. For Dirk Nowitzki, a stellar game, no doubt. He's got 14 points and is also helping set the table. Who's ready to eat? A few tight games around the NBA. Let's check them out. The Utah Jazz trailing San Antonio out in San Antonio. Into the second half, and it's a close one, a 1-point difference. And another one also in progress. New Orleans in a tight one against Houston. Second half of play, still anybody's game. And now, a look at the other NBA action. The Los Angeles Lakers in front against the Suns out at U.S. Airways Center. A comfy advantage for them in the third. And now back to the game in Los Angeles. Glad to have you with us.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third.
No slowing him down. Just incredible numbers for Jamal Crawford. He's got 14 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point land.
I'm sure they'd like to get him a few more of those, so look for them to run some screens for him, try to pop him open.
On the floor for Dallas, Marion and Nowitzki at the forwards. Dallas is out there with Devin Harris, and it's down there in at the pivot spot, man in the middle.
Offensively, he's just one of those guys that needs a touch of space to get his shot out. That's all. And if he runs his man off a screen or somehow finds an opening, that's it. He's going to let that thing go.
And I know he's a fan favorite because he can catch fire immediately at any point in the ball game and just start pouring it in from all over the place. Dirk Nowitzki, the 70-footer from Germany, is certainly not one of the more explosive athletes in the NBA, but I don't know if we give him enough credit for how coordinated he is at his side. I mean, this guy is very coordinated in how he gets around on the court, especially at the offensive end. He's got tremendous balance, outstanding hands. Both of those allow him to be a terrific shooter and player.
And taken away by Paul. Barnes passes to Crawford. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Now it's a 4-point Clipper lead.
Coming out strong here in the third quarter. That's 4 for 5 shooting. Well, let's check out some numbers here for Blake Griffin. He has been filling up the stat sheet for the last month. 5th in blocks, 11th in scoring. And there aren't too many guys more efficient offensively around the league. He's in the top 15 in field goal percentage.
And Steve, you said it. I mean, he ranks in the top 5 in blocks per game, and that puts him in his rightful place as one of the most feared defenders in the league right now.
Back to Nowitzki, such a great hand-eye coordination. It's key for any shooter, and certainly key, Steve, for him.
Well, he takes a shot that for most NBA players is kind of a low percentage shot, that mid-range fadeaway jumper, but for him, it's incredibly accurate.
Jordan dishes the ball. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
Harris kicks to Nowitzki. Nowitzki draws the double. Here's Harris. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dirk Nowitzki. 8 points for Devin Harris.
That would be 4 in a row for him now as they have come racing out of the gate to start this second half.
Paul against Harris. Crawford kicks to Griffin. Clippers moving the ball around. A nice shot by Jordan.
Boy, this defense is getting eaten up on the inside, guys. Giving up far too many free runs to the rim.
And they haven't been able to return the favor. I mean, their offense in the paint has not been up to par. You got to make a defensive adjustment here because he's just destroying them from three-point range.
Well, even when they've closed out on him, Steve, he's knocking them down.
It's stolen by Harris. Leads him in there. And it's Monte Ellis with the finish.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after this. Steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Well, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
It's Ellis on the wing. Lets it go with the three. Gets it to go. Ellis has got 18 points in the game.
these defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. That's 4 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been three-pointers.
Nowitzki against Paul. Tries from 10. Again, Los Angeles.
They are owning the lane right now. Every one of their last 10 points has come either at or near the rim.
Great looks in tight because they're finding lanes to the hoop whenever they want them.
Harris kicks to Mary. We've got 1:23 left to play in the third. Shoots from 8, and it's Dallas with another.
This is some kind of performance we're seeing from him today. He has yet to miss a shot. No, Dirk is one of those guys, to me, who looks like he might be able to play until he's 50. That could be an exaggeration, but you think about how his game is foundation. It's all about skill, positioning, shot making. And he's not going to shrink anytime soon, so if a 7-footer can be strong enough to be on the court with his skill set, he can play for a lot longer.
Looking at who's out there now for the Mavericks. Dewan Blair. He's checked in for Dallenberg. And Jake Crowder's subbed in for Dirk Nowitzki. He feeds it to Reddick. And the Clippers get another bucket right there. Well, you talk about longevity shooting, and either of the 2 NBA assets that you don't lose with age.
Well, those are 2 of Dirk's big strong suits. You know, the knee troubles have cropped up, but if he can stay healthy, he should be able to. Help this team for several more years, I would think.
Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D. I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Oh, that's good.
That's how to orchestrate for your teammate. Terrific pass.
Blair with it. Back to West from downtown. And yes, sir, that one drops. West has got 8 points.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams and their effectiveness from the three-point line.
And you really notice it at that end of the floor where they continue to get open looks and lead from them.
And Vince Carter with the slam.
You know, the instant that steal was made, they were off and running the other way.
Ball pressure, then a run-out seed. That's perfection to me.
Back to Crawford. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here. Los Angeles making a switch here, and he's got his first chance at the line here.
Well, you got to admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season, shooting better than 90% from the stripe.
And you know, with those numbers, he makes a defender hesitant to get too tight on him. I mean, he doesn't want to get whistled for the foul and put this guy on the line. He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
Got it off in time. Can't get it to go. Shots can... Continuing to fall as we conclude the third quarter. Both teams putting up points. It's Dallas up 5. And we're just moments away from the start of the fourth quarter. Stay with us.
Coming up next Monday night, January 20th, Paul George and the Indiana Pacers go up against Stephen Curry and the Golden State Warriors, live from Oracle Arena. Don't miss it.
And thanks for joining us again. The fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Mavericks.
Man, they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
They've really been on fire from beyond the arc tonight, too. I mean, a lot of their points have come from out there.
Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. Taking a look at Los Angeles. CP3 at point with Reddick there at the backcourt. Matt Barnes is out there with Griffin. And it's Mullins in at the 5, home in the paint. Dallas making a switch here. Marion's checked in.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark with the lead they're enjoying. I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage anyway. It was only with one hand, but he threw it down pretty hard.
Barnes kicks to Griffin. Clippers moving the ball around. And it's sent back by Nowitzki. Ellis outside. Whoops, they pick off the pass. Here's Mullins. The finger roll finish at the bucket.
Good defense, but you gotta love the finish with the finger roll over the top.
Ellis kicks to Calderon. Pass to Nowitzki. Griffin on him. Calderon for 3. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Dirk Nowitzki.
Boy, they've come out of halftime just smoking hot from behind the arc.
Hey, trust me on this one, partner. They are going to continue to let him fly.
And that one's good. Barnes.
Unstoppable offense from both teams. I love the pace this game has been played at.
So does everybody else in the building. This has been a fun one.
Knocked away. Nowitzki with the steal. Jumps up. Flushes it down to finish the break.
Boy, the kind of moment you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof, yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about.
Back to Ellis. Fires the 3. That's good. Ellis has got 21 in the game.
You can just see his confidence rising every time he knocks one down beyond the arc.
This is direct, and the foul on Monte Ellis. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Vince Carter, who's checked in for the Mavericks. Larkin comes in for Jose Calderon. 2nd minute off the clock now in the 4th. Crawford outside, and the basket good. Crawford's got 16 points here in the 2nd half.
Tell you what, he's had an excellent game, and they're going to have to continue to rely on him if they're going to come back.
Barnes against Carter. Pass to Larkin. He kicks to Nowitzki. Left block shot on the way. And good on the basket. Book it. Nowitzki's got 6 here in this quarter. Paul is doubled. There's the pass to Barnes. Good, and Paul gets the assist. That's now 8 points for Barnes.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Nowitzki kicks to Carter. Another 3 for Dallas.
You know, when he gets rolling, guys, he can be an absolute handful to have to deal with. And right now, he is rolling strong.
Rejected by Nowitzki. Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. Monte Ellis checked in for the Mavericks. Harris comes in for Larkin. And the Clippers call time here. They're down by 5. 1:58 left in the 4th quarter. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Kevin, Doc Rivers was just addressing the plan with his team. They're getting outshot from the perimeter. He told them, we've got to close out faster on the outside shooters. These threes are killing us. Kevin, can they tighten their D?
Thank you, Doris. And here's Ellis from beyond the arc. Another 3 for Dallas.
He's been on a tear from the three-point line this game.
Clippers trail by 6. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the 4th quarter. The shot's good from Paul.
Boy, I tell you what, he's having one of those days where if he takes it, he makes it.
Back to Nowitzki. On deep. That is good. Nowitzki's got 16 points here in the second half.
I'll tell you what, until this defense gets out and defends the three-point line, it's going to be a parade.
Yeah, we've already seen 3 in a row from out there.
Here's Marion, and he drops it in from the low post. Here is Paul. There's 1:17 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Griffin in the power.
Tell you what, he's not an easy guy to stop when he's got his sight on the rim.
Never has been, never will be.
Oh, man, that was
Mark it up. Great game for him. Double-double now. 10 points and 10 assists. Putting on a show for these people.
I cannot believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Are you kidding me?
might as well fine if you got it, Clark.
Count the buckets.
You know, he operates so well close to the bucket. There's nothing he likes more than seeing an opening inside.
Nails it. Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
The points just keep coming for him this quarter. And just at the right time, too, as they try to narrow the deficit.
Fade away, and it's Griffin with the rebound.
And it is very dangerous to leave him open like that. Lucky break for the defense that he missed it. Huge points.
That's beyond huge, Steve. I mean, they needed that bucket desperately.
Harris kicks to Ellis. Knocks down the trifecta.
What a floor leader he's been at the offensive end.
You know, he's done a terrific job of moving the ball around, sharing it, dispersing it, and running the show.
The shot and game clock separated by 4 and taken away by Ellis. 3 on 3, and he's going up for the alley-oop. Hammers the alley-oop through.
This game's over, guys. I think we can say that was certain.
Yeah, I agree with you there. We have officially reached garbage time.
Los Angeles has gone to three-point range for 12 of their points in the final quarter on 4 of 5 shooting. And that one's good.
All of those three-pointers coming off his fingers has been right on the money.
And the shot is good.
I'll tell you what, the defenders didn't even get a sniff of him on that move to the hoop.
And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
Smart foul there. You got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
Now, here's Dallenberg. And an intentional foul right there. Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
That may be the knockout blow, guys. Those free throws would seem to have put this one away.
Here's Crawford with the 3. Good! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
It's been a humongous fourth quarter for him, especially from long range. He's in a groove, and that tray of his has just been dead.
So it's a narrow victory for the Mavericks, pulling out the W. And Clark, you know, it was quite a nail-biter.
Yeah, it was tight. Their guys were able to come up with big plays down the stretch, and that's the difference.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Horace Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. Now it's time to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Dirk Nowitzki.
Huge ending here in LA, California, down to the wire, but the Mavericks survived over the Clippers by 1 point, 128 to 127. And you see, they got some injury issues. Bobcats player Brendan Hayward will be hurt for 1 to 2 weeks. It was flu. Michael Jokic will be healed after returning the injury for playing. Strained elbow for Kyrie Irving will be hurt for 1 to 2 weeks. Samuel Dalembert is now healed. Even Bernard James is hurt for strained elbow. J.J. Hickson is sprained ankle for day-to-day. Terrence Ross is healed now. Aaron Gray. And Markham Lee. Oh, Markham Lee is hurt. Is out for stress fracture. 6 and 8 weeks. Corey Brewer is now healed. And Singleton. And let's see what's going on here. What the last second shot here in Staples Center, down to the finish by 1 point. Jamar Crawford got 38 points. Even Chris Paul so close to 20 points. That's 19 points and 20 assists. Blake Griffin got 16 points. Mark Barnes got 15. On the other hand, Dirk Nowitzki got 32 and 10. Monte Ellis got 29. Sean Martin got 17. Vince Carter got 16. Devin Harris got 12. West got 11. And the rest of the Mavericks are only 3 points. And then down to the finish here in LA. That will be all of it down to the finish. And now, next game we're ahead. No flex on TNT. Not going to Atlanta. We're going to Bakersfield Fells in Indianapolis. Our first game of the day going to Indianapolis, featuring Carmelo Anthony and J.R. Smith. The New York Knicks take on Paul George and Danny Granger of the Indiana Pacers. Followed by the second game, we have got a Western Conference marquee matchup. Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder take on Dwight Howard and James Harden of the Houston Rockets. Let's check out if the roster for Jeremy Lin will come into play. And still, unfortunately, Jeremy Lin is not yet healed, not allowed to play yet since the injury for broken finger, I believe. Let's see that injury for broken finger was Jeremy Lin. Yeah, still injury for broken fingers out for day-to-day. Jeremy Lin is out for 1 day-to-day. Hopefully will be re-healed. Meanwhile, Darren Williams still injury for broken ankle, out for 1 or 2 weeks. After his bad 6 and 8 weeks, Darren Williams is not good. On the other hand, Rajon Rondo is out for 1 or 2 weeks due to the torn hand ligament. He's still not yet to play. Hopefully it will be recovery. I'm not sure if Rondo, Williams, and Lin still not yet to play. Check out the update playoff picture. Miami in the first. Chicago, Atlanta, Nets, Bucks, Pistons, Pacers, and the Magic. In the hunt was Washington. On the side, the Bobcats. On the Western Conference, we got the Rockets, Clippers, tied with the San Antonio for the 3rd place. Thunder, Blazers, Warriors, Lakers, and the Pelicans. In the hunt is Memphis. So, that will be a wrap up for going to good game here in LA. One down to the wire by 1 point in the highest scoring game. 128 to 127 by the Mavericks. And now, next up tomorrow, we're off to Bakersfield Fells in Indianapolis. First game goes to Bakersfield Fells in Indianapolis. We got the Eastern Conference rematch of the semifinals last season that will be meet again for the second time. It's Carmelo Anthony and J.R. Smith of the New York Knicks take on Paul George and Danny Granger of the Indiana Pacers. And followed by the second game goes to Toyota Center in Houston. We got the Western Conference for a marquee matchup duo featuring Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook of the Oklahoma City Thunder take on Dwight Howard and James Harden of the Houston Rockets. That should be interesting matchup. And that'll do it for now. This is Andre Henshin as the Knicks in real life. The 2025 playoffs, the Knicks advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years, and led by Jalen Brunson and Kyle Anthony Towns. We make it to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2000. It's been a long while to face the rival Indiana Pacers. That should be a good game. And that'll do it for now. This is Andre Henshin as the Mavericks survive here at Staples Center, defeat the Clippers by 1 point, 127 to 128 to 127. This is Andre Henshin. Say some for Staples Center in Los Angeles. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll have another doubleheader here at the Bankers Life Field for the first game between the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers, followed by the second game is the Oklahoma City Thunder take on the Houston Rockets. So once again, it's time to say sign. Andre Genshin say song for Staples Center. It's time to say sign up and peace out. Good night, and reminder, we'll see you later. And reminder, we'll see you tomorrow. First game from downtown Indianapolis between here in the Bankers Life Fields for the Knicks and the Pacers, and followed by the second game will be here at Toyota Center. It's the Thunder and the Rockets. Sign up and peace out. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for the doubleheader matchup. It's the Knicks and the Pacers, followed by the Thunder and Rockets. It's time to say once again, sign up and peace out. Good night, and thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.